Jim, is this drama or is it more than drama? I mean, from your experience with national security matters, is there a real serious threat here potentially posed, or is this the press and politicians getting all stoked up about something?
Well, there are a couple of things going on. One is people need to distinguish between two things the FBI does. One is criminal investigations, mafia, etc. And the other is counterintelligence investigations to help the president defend the country. If they are working on a counterintelligence investigation with respect to, let's say, what did Russia try to do during our election, that's not a criminal investigation. There's no obstruction of justice going on if somebody doesn't cooperate with a counterintelligence investigation. Andy McCarthy has a great analogy in a blog of his today. He said it's sort of as if people were out on the field, a playground, saying, "Infield, you're out. The infield fly rule works." And somebody else says, wait a minute, there's no infield fly rule in football, and we're playing football. That sort of disjunction is very, very much at the heart of a lot of the confusion, I think, in this discussion.
Yeah, and there's a fair amount of confusion involving the firing of Jim Comey from director of the FBI. But it's now been advanced with these reports in the Washington Post, then the New York Times, then the Wall Street Journal, that in meeting with Foreign Minister Lavrov of Russia last week, the president disclosed some specific plans for attacks by Islamic State and identified a city from which they originated. And the claim is, in the newspapers, that this actually might have pointed in the direction of cooperation with a foreign intelligence organization. Now, I must say, as I said in the introduction, the National Security Advisor said we did not reveal sources and methods. But he did not deny that they described this sort of attack in the city. From what you know about national security, could that actually be used against United States interests?
Well, could and might are powerful words there. There are circumstances in which if you disclose something that may seem to be innocuous, like a date, let's say, when somebody puts it together with other things that they know, it could disclose a source or a method, and that would sometimes can get people killed if you do that. So one should not, without careful consideration, disclose something that might lead to a source or method. But what I think the White House is saying, as I hear it, is that they have disclosed nothing of a source or method of collecting intelligence, and nothing that would lead to that being discovered. And that's what I think the argument is about.
Director, it does seem, though, that there are repercussions here. The AP, Associated Press, is reporting that a senior European intelligence official is telling them that their country might stop sharing information with the U.S. if it confirms President Trump shared classified information with the Russians. Do you expect more of this? I mean, what's the implication of something like that, the lack of intelligence sharing?
Well, it depends on the information. The president has the authority to classify or declassify according to his judgment. He may have not exercised his judgment well, but it's not a matter of his right. He has the right to declassify something. And there could be circumstances, yes, could be circumstances in which such a disclosure would lead to other information that an ally would say, you indirectly disclosed what my intelligence service is doing, and I'm not going to share with you anymore. That sort of possibility does exist. It's also possible that whoever is leaking all this doesn't have the foggiest idea what he's talking about and is inventing stuff. We don't know.
Yeah, there's a lot we don't know. Absolutely right, Director Woolsey. But let me ask you, from your understanding, how difficult is it to get human intelligence with respect to the Islamic State? I mean, we have operations presumably around the world in various places, but Islamic State, is it particularly difficult to get human intelligence? And the reason I ask that question is, if in fact this might, and we don't know, might lead to revealing of human intelligence sources, how damaging could that be?
Well, it is difficult to get human intelligence out of terrorist organizations. Penetrating them is very hard. But there are other ways to get intelligence about them. One can watch a cave that a terrorist went into with a drone and keep it up there for hours and keep watching the mouth of the cave until the terrorist comes out. So there's more than one way to get intelligence about Islamic State and terrorism and so forth. But losing intelligence from a source that has penetrated a terrorist organization it would be a real shame, because that might be something that we could exploit in the future in order to stop terrorist operations.